Hi guys, this is Ashley back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications. Now, people have been begging me to talk about, Taylor the Icon breaking Nicki Minaj's record for the biggest per sales week, breaking Super Freaky Girl's record, which was like 89,000 first week, okay, and Taylor the Icon did 120,000 in her third week. But here's the thing. When Nicki Minaj, and this is really no shade, but we got to be realistic here and we can't, sugarcoat anything. When Nicki Minaj broke that record, the Roman remix, the Queen mix, was not even out yet. Taylor the Icon got an EP full of remixes to break Nicki Minaj's record. So I really don't count this. And it's really no shade, but we already know Taylor the Icon likes to finesse the charts. She is the obsessed chart queen. I mean, she does this all the time where she'll push a single and then she'll put like 7 remixes on it and, make 73 versions of an album so it can go number 1. And I hope and pray that Nicki Minaj does the same thing with the next single and when she drops the 5th thing. We need 55 versions of the 5th thing. The Roman version. We need the Chl0E version. We need the Harajuku Barbie version. Because I feel like nobody calls out Taylor for finessing the charts. So I think everybody needs to start playing that game. And some people have already. The Queen Bee had like 4 remixes for Break Your Soul. But Nicki Minaj only had 2. And she was doing numbers. So even though, yes, she broke Nicki's record, I'm not really impressed because you broke Nicki's record by putting out an EP full of remixes. And you had 73 versions of one album. You're very chart obsessed. And now it's no longer Taylor the Icon. It's Taylor the chart obsessed queen. Okay? Because it's giving very much that. Doja Cat will be sharing her life story through the years of Amazon's Audible original series Origins, okay? Now, I don't know what this really means. What do they mean by life story? Like, is this like a documentary? Is it a biopic? I wouldn't mind seeing a Doja Cat documentary, only if she tells the truth, though. I don't want no sugarcoating. I want you to tell the truth. Tell us how Roc Nation basically shelved you and then you got basically dropped. I want you to tell us the truth about how you feel about Dr. Luke taking all of your producing credits on your album and how you signed this terrible contract. I just want the real. You know what I'm saying? I want these newer artists to do what TLC did. If you ever seen the TLC biopic, they didn't hold back. So I want that. I want her to be completely honest when she's doing her life story. I don't want her to sugarcoat nothing. So me personally, I feel like she's definitely going to sugarcoat. So I really don't want her to put out no life story right now. Wait like 5 to 10 years where, you won't get blacklisted for talking shit about Dr. Luke. And then tell us the truth then. Quavo and Chl0E are back on. Okay. Yesterday we saw Walmart Yonsei perform Heaven at Takeoff's funeral. Of course, it had to be a Queen Bee song because, she wants to be her so badly. But anyway, with that being said, I was told that Quavo and Chl0E are back talking. Okay. Because she reached out after, it was revealed that Takeoff passed away, being a good friend. And they're back talking on the low, okay? Now, briefly, they had stopped because Chl0E got a song coming with Off the Cheat and Cardi B. And Off the Cheat and Quavo have issues, okay? So he wanted her to pick a side. But now, after Takeoff's passing, they're going to be focusing on their brotherhood, which they announced at the funeral. There was a lot of clips circulating around in regards to the funeral, even though people weren't supposed to have their phones out. Nobody listens, and there was like 20,000 people there. So, of course, people were recording, and I saw her perform Heaven. I saw Justin Bieber, you know, he is a culture vulture. But, you know, they gave a lot of, you know, heartfelt speeches. Champagne Thickums was there with a hoodie. That was just tragic. I mean, why would you go to somebody's funeral with a hoodie on? Come on. Like, Champagne Thickums needs to go sit down somewhere. Speaking of Takeoff, Cardi B makes a heartfelt post about him after the funeral. I'm not going to read everything that she said on her Instagram post. It was sweet, but I can tell that she did not write it, okay? Because one thing about Cardi B, she can't write, and she can't really speak proper English. So I knew that it was definitely somebody on her team that wrote that out, but it still was a sweet message. Moving on to Queen B and Chl0E&QUAV0. It is extremely obvious that Chl0E&QUAV0 has an obsession, and he's definitely in love with Queen B. Now, yesterday, he goes on a rant. I talked about it on Patreon. And he basically exposes Camel Face and Queen B. Now, I have the tea behind that on Patreon. You know, why he's mentioning certain people's names and how he needs to be careful. So I can't talk about that on this channel. But I will say this. He's been mentioning Queen B over the years for no reason. And a lot of fans are saying that he is obsessed with Queen B. I think he's in love with Queen B. I think that he wishes he had married Queen B instead of Kim K. And I think he likes how submissive Queen B is to Camel Face. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you know, Queen B doesn't really give much back talk to Camel Face. She usually listens to him. When Camel Face had Tidal, she put everything exclusively on Tidal. When Camel Face had issues with Spotify, she started dissing Spotify and wouldn't put her music on there. So with that being said, she follows everything he does. You know, Kim K doesn't do that. And I think he's more in love with Queen B, and that's why he continues to mention her. And I think he's definitely jealous of the foundation Queen B and Camel Face have, because he doesn't have that with Kim, and she's over his ass. But he needs to stop mentioning Queen B every time something is wrong with his career. Lizzo is getting honored. Okay, so Lizzo is set to receive the People's Champion Award at the 2022 People's Choice Awards. She's not the people's champ. I mean, I don't understand why she's receiving this award. What has she done? You know, the people's champ should be for the people. She's part of the industry. I don't know what she does. I mean, I guess it's because of body positivity, maybe, but I still don't think that she deserves the award. And it's really no shade. I feel like there's better people they can give the award to in regards to the people's champ. You know what I'm saying? But at least it's not Megan Thee Stallion, because you know they love giving out the sympathy awards. I mean, it's always the sympathy awards for Lizzo, Megan, and 11 Faces. Also, Lottery Ticket was honored too. Lotto gives a speech as she accepts her Big Feminine Energy Award at the Flo Hers Award Gala 2022, okay? I don't know if this is like on the same level as the EBT Awards, but I never heard of the Flo Hers Gala. So let me know if this is like a really big event, because I never heard of it. Uh-oh. Fans are calling Rihanna a flop again, because it looks like Born Again is not getting the same traction as Lift Me Up. And fans are saying that this song made no noise. And Black Panther came out, you know, so people are wondering what's going on. Well, if you guys had listened to me and what I said 2 weeks ago when Lift Me Up came out, I said that these songs have no replay value. It's not a stay. It's not a diamonds. Like, let's just be very clear. These songs are boring. They have little to no passion. And I think people got to stop deriding Rihanna and just being honest. I mean, I don't understand why y'all can't tell Forehead the truth. It's not giving what it's supposed to be giving. Okay? And that's why there's a new Forehead on the block. And if Rihanna wants to get up out of music, the new Forehead can take over, okay? Because I don't like when people half-ass it. It's either you giving 100% or you're not. And Rihanna is giving 40. Okay? So I don't really need her to make any more music. I don't need her to perform at the Super Bowl. You know, she can just stay home with A$AP the Colorist and focus on Fenty. But anyway, make sure you guys check out my Patreon. I got 2 new videos that are very good on there. Exclusive tea. And I will see you guys in the next video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and have an amazing day.